Welcome to the Pivot Point Podcast. I am Ronnie Tyler.
And my name is Lamar Tyler. Together with the co-founders of Traffic, Sales, and Profit, the most amazing, magnificent, outstanding, phenomenal community for entrepreneurs of color on the, I don't want to say United States, on the planet. Let's just go all the way in. But check this out. Today we're talking about the pivot. How many of you watching this have had to pivot at some point in your business, or maybe even in your life, Ronnie? I know we have.
We have done it many, many times throughout our business.
Right. And we're going to talk about that. But before we do, Ronnie, I got a question for you. How much of your budget, your revenue, right, your top line revenue that you make in a company, should you allocate towards marketing?
Okay, so I like to stay in my lane because I don't do the marketing for our company, but based on watching experts like you, I think maybe at least 20%.
All right. We want everybody watching, want you to guess. Drop it down in the comments. And we're going to tell you the answer in just a little bit. But before we do that, we got an amazing guest today. I'm excited about this. You excited about it?
Yes.
All right. This is one of my favorite people, one of the smartest marketers I know. She's like a little sis because she's still like 20, 19 years old or something.
She's
like
I'm grown, Lamar. I'm a grown woman.
We are
over
joined
here.
today by Marketing by Monrae. What's up, Monrae? How you doing?
First of all, I done turned 30.
Oh, don't you? It throw you off when the young people get grown, don't it?
Yes, it does.
It was wild as they think 30 is grown. It's cute. You hit 30. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations.
You
That's
driving?
cute.
You got your license now? You driving
I
by
do.
yourself? What you doing? You 30? Oh my goodness. I got
You see, they pick on me.
I got shoes older than you. You know what
That
I'm
is
saying? Like I'm
crazy.
grown out here, right?
That is crazy.
But thank you for coming on the Pivot Point.
Yes, I'm excited.
I'm excited too, because like you one of my favorite marketers, and we'll talk about that. But I know, right, you have authentic conversations. You got a podcast, right? Ghetto CEO,
Yes,
right?
being a
whole
CEO is ghetto.
show movie. It is, right? like let me ask you before we go into, like, what does that mean to you? Because you said it with so much conviction.
Listen, it's very, very ghetto. I've been a CEO for 11 years, so I started at 19. So I didn't know I was going to have to grow up in business and grow up in life. Like, I had to be a CEO and like manage people. I'm an only child, so like I don't care about your feelings. It was about me, for a long time. So it just was a lot that I had to, kind of figure out to grow up.
That's good. Like, one of the things I always say, me and Ronnie were talking about before we started taping this thing, is that we want to tell authentic stories around entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Because, other than you, it ain't a lot of people out here talking the real, right? I think people can look on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, and we getting these glossed over stories of how you can just do a few things and get rich.
Right.
Was that your story?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I had to do all the things. I had to work. So I think a lot of people do think that entrepreneurship is very simple, and it can be. The steps can be simple, but it does require a lot of work.
Right. I think people think, oh, it's so glamorous, right? Even your day to day, if you were posting on social media and then, oh, you look so great, but I see you hustling in between, like, okay, tell them to do this. Then you're smiling or whatever. And so it's like constant work behind that pretty face, right?
Yeah.
Behind the glamorous day. So
It never turns off. It never turns off. Like, I'm always working. We literally give up a 9 to 5 to work 24 hours. It's crazy.
That's real. I
that
tell
should be a
people all the
shirt.
time.
That should be a shirt.
Right.
Be a shirt,
Yes.
They're going to be selling it next week.
Get a trademark.
Right. At least over somebody at TSP doing it, not just some YouTube rando. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Like, somebody take advantage of this, y'all get it.
Yeah.
But I love it because you talk about the work. You talk about, being a CEO is ghetto. But it's that piece you just said, right, of like all the different things that come into play, and you got to do all the things. And like the steps may be easy, but besides the steps, we often forget is that life may have other plans for us.
Yes.
Like, how did you even get into marketing business? Like you said, you started at 19. What did that look like?
So at 19, I didn't know what I was doing. Somebody said they needed an assistant. I said I needed a job, and that is how I got there, right? And so she didn't know what an assistant did, and I didn't either. So I just started to help her post on social media. I started to help her like do events and just, different things. And when I realized, I was like, oh, I kind of like this. And I'm taking marketing classes because I was in school for accounting. So I was taking marketing classes. I'm like, okay, maybe this is marketing, maybe it's brand management. I don't know, but I'm doing it for somebody else. Let me see. She giving me $200. Let me see if I can get $350. So it was just like, let me keep going because I feel something here.
All right, so Monrae, 19, right? Was it always in you to be an entrepreneur, you think? Or did you want to like be in corporate, have that job, that 9 to 5? Tell me about it.
I just wanted some money. So I know that sounds crazy, but I've been working since I was 14. So my godmom had a beauty salon, and so I used to go up there, be a shampoo tech, and I used to help her. Then I got a job at 17 at McDonald's, and so I started working at McDonald's. And my mom used to ask me like, "Why are you at work every day?" And I'm like, "I want some money." So I used to work like 18-hour shifts. Having fun, just living my life. And it was really when I realized like my mom couldn't control what I was spending my money on. So the first thing I bought was a grill. I know, so Memphis, but a grill, a bottom grill.
Charcoal, gas, George Foreman. Like what we talking about?
No, like a bottom grill.
Oh, like a grill in your mouth. See, we need
Your
some
mind
grown,
went like,
we need some grown
she
people
said
in
a
here.
grill, like
a
the
grill.
Who's booking these 19, 20-year-olds? I need, you know what I'm saying? Like my generation, a grill is something different.
No, I did not buy that. I bought a bottom grill.
You say in the South, I'm thinking you Memphis. I'm thinking, okay, you got ribs, you got baby back, short, brisket. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You tied in the Memphis thing. Okay.
No,
All right.
a bottom grill.
Okay, all right. Now I'm back, and we back. All right. I'm sorry.
That is so funny. But yeah, that's the first thing I bought. And then when I went to school, when I went to college, I couldn't work because I didn't have a car. So I was like, okay, so how am I supposed to get money? Because my daddy was only sending me $30 a week. I'm like, I'm grown. Like I have to make some money. So that's when I started looking for things to do. And then I seen the lady, post on Instagram, and it's been up since then.
Okay, so I have some hope, right? Because our girls want to work, they love work, they enjoy money.
Yeah.
And they're watching us as entrepreneurs. So I think there's some hope for us.
Maybe not. I don't know. But how did you, Monrae? Let me ask you this: how did you get from there to like where you first, like when did you first feel like, okay, I got a business, right? Like I'm doing these things, I'm making money. So like how did that transition to you actually having a business?
It's so funny because I immediately thought I was an entrepreneur. Like I used to go and start pitching myself to other clients, and when I realized like I was doing a thing and getting results, I was like, okay, now I can do this thing for more people, right? And so I just started pitching myself to other clients in Mississippi at the time. And then as soon as I graduated, I came to Atlanta. And so I came to Atlanta and I moved here, and I just started DMing everybody that I thought was in Atlanta and offering my services. And I'm like, you need me, it's only $200. Like, just help me out, So I started offering my services, but that's kind of like how I built the agency up. And through the years, we've had our agency. I've, pivoted into the university, but now we're like full-fledged agency again. So it's just like always something different. I think one thing to y'all's point is that I don't mind pivoting. Like regardless, I'm gonna look and see what's going on, but I don't mind changing what I have to do based on the season that I'm in.
So when you moved to Atlanta, was Atlanta everything that you thought it would be?
It was something.
Something good, something bad.
Yeah, I think it was what I thought it was going to be. So I had never been to Atlanta when I moved here. So I came to Atlanta and I was like, okay, they said the business owners down here, so I need to move.
This some Black Hollywood type stuff. I want to be an actor. I'm just gonna pack up my car and move to LA.
Literally
Black folks
what I
just coming
did.
to Atlanta.
Yes.
Like I ain't never been there. I don't know where I'm supposed to stay.
No, I had no place, nothing. Like I literally 2 weeks after I graduated, I packed up my car and I moved to Atlanta. So it gave me the opportunities, but I also realized that I really do like small towns. Like I like to go down the street to the Walmart. Like, like I don't like all the things. Like I like to be in the house, So I think it was a great place to start the business with.
And do you think that, Monrae, because I feel like you're just a natural born marketer, right? And people are attracted to you. They want to follow you. Do you think that there's danger in like growing too fast, or people buying your services so fast if you don't like have the infrastructure together in the back end? Or can you tell us about that as well with growing your business?
100%. So many times my business has been broken, right? Just by growing so fast. Like in 2019, when we scaled from $168,000 to $1.1 million in a year, right? And I didn't know what that meant, So in my mind, I was just like, okay, keep investing in the business, keep putting money back into the business, keep investing in funnels and whatever is broken, like let me fix it with money. And then at the end of the year, I'm like, no, stole all my money. Where did it go? You know? And so I had to learn business because nobody was teaching me how to be in business. So not only the infrastructure, but that year we serviced 35,000 students. So that's customer service, that's, team. It was just a different time. And I think I had to really learn how to manage a business, right? And it was my first year doing the education side. I had been doing the agency. So that is a totally different business model. So literally I'm in year 1 and I'd have made $1 million and, service 35,000 clients.
And I think that you probably also had to grow up as a leader and as an individual as well, because you're focusing on the business, but then there are some skills that you need as a actual person to interact with employees and team that you're going to have to get. And that's a lot to have all at once and be so young, right? Because you were in your 20s.
I was 26. I was very young. And I think it's so funny because a lot of people... So at that time, I had employees, through the years or whatever. We've hired and fired over 120 employees. And a lot of people are like trying to come back now, right? And so people that have worked for me previously and they worked in that season was like, oh my God, you're just so different. I was 26 years old. Like, I didn't know. Like, y'all wanted a lot from me, but I guess that's, what you kind of expect from your boss. But they was like, it was just small things that I had to learn from, like, not working with my door closed because they felt like, they couldn't come talk to me. Or if they didn't do the work fast enough, I would just do it. I'm like, girl, I can do it in an hour, but it would make them feel some type of way because they're like, well, I'm trying to make it perfect. And then my philosophy at the time was 80% is better than nothing. So just get it done, and so they would feel some type of way. And I think I had to learn how to listen to people. I'm like, I don't care if your dog died. You don't want to come to work? Like, come on. We got stuff to do.
Rapport Rover. The pet people not going to like. We going to go viral for all the wrong reasons.
I'm like, listen, okay, we got work to do. So at the time, I had to learn a lot. And so I think that my different seasons and things that I had to go through, from even relationship things, I had a miscarriage, like all of that went through entrepreneurship while people still wanted their payroll. Right. And I'm like, y'all don't care about me? Okay, nobody cares about me. So let me figure out, how to do both so I can build my life around the business and not the business around my life,
But what you said is real, right? Because as a leader of a company, people can love you, they can love the mission. But I tell people all the time, right? Like, hey, life still happens around these leaders. Like every single day. Like with us, does life still happen?
Yes. We have 4 kids. Life is
right.
life.
We got kids. Right. We have parents. We have, everything else that happened to everybody else, right? Deaths around us, sickness around us, divorces around us, breakups around us, like all those things. But you still have to show up, and the pressure is showing up every day. And not just showing up every day. What I tell people is that, hey, people have like a moment of empathy for you, right? But your clients are like, yo, as long as that credit card still getting swiped, oh my goodness, I'm sorry that happened. But I still need to get paid. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I still need my product, whatever. Yeah. Your team like, hey, I'm sorry that happened, but I still need to get paid every other week because I got my own responsibilities. Yeah. Like, how have you carried like the weight of that, or learned to carry the weight of that?
I've leaned a lot on my boyfriend. Like Eric I have to put my face on for everybody else, but I go home and I'm a baby. I be crying, just like, this is a lot, but a lot of it is just like mental strength, you just got to keep going. And sometimes you do need to stop, and I realize like, okay, I need a break, or I know that the thing that recharges me is to go to the water. So Eric, I need to go to the water. Like, take me out, And so it's just finding those moments.
We have communication. I used to go to the water. I thought you was talking like baptismal or something.
Oh my
God. You're just not understanding.
The beach.
I didn't know what you like. We talking 2 different languages in this interview. Like, I'm like, okay, she giving her life over to yes, he will keep you
every
strong
3 to 5
when
days.
you are weak. Hey, I don't judge nobody, right? Different denominations everybody got their own way of worship. Who am I to judge?
You are funny.
Okay, I'm sorry though, but the beach. Okay.
The beach, the lake, something. Okay, the water. I like to
Deacon
see
Eric
it.
taking his woman to the water. Look at that brother. Outstanding young man.
This is horrible. That is so funny. No, the beach, the water, somewhere. Just to like refresh and rethink through everything, you know. And so that's what I do.
Monrae, get serious. Come on. This is
No,
serious
I'm
interview.
like,
Come on, we
you.
serious people here.
Are you?
No, this is so good. So if y'all are watching, y'all don't know. Me and Monrae have a great history, right? She's a client, a friend. We partnered on some things. Can I tell a story real quick, Ronnie?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so me and Monrae, we gonna go on tour together.
Oh Lord.
Right, we gonna go on tour, right? So we come with I thought it's a great concept. I love everything, concept, the brand, everything, right? We're like the best of both worlds, right? Younger generation, older. Like, what you a millennial?
Yeah.
Okay. The other day,
What, you a baby boomer?
No.
So he thinks he's a millennial.
You know,
He thinks he's a
listen. I tried to be nice and ask she's a millennial because I don't really think she is. But if I gave you the alley-oop, you're supposed to give it back to me. But actually, I'm Generation X. We'll be X.
I actually don't know.
X. Okay, yeah. I would say X. So we Generation X, right? So this is how the millennials do. Which, if you ain't know if you watch this, millennials ain't young no more.
No.
Okay.
Knees hurt.
Yeah. Other than the studio, we had a zillennial. What was she? A zillennial? Yeah, it's something like that. We had, Generation Z. We got alphas now. So yeah, get your AARP ready.
Yeah.
But we go on tour. So I'm on here with a millennial, and I don't think millennials know how to travel. All the stuff on Instagram you see, fake news. Because we got a tour stop in Chicago. So before then, Ronnie, every city we go to, I'm getting there early, unpacking my clothing, right? Ready for the next day to transform the lives of these entrepreneurs. It's the best of both worlds. Lamar Marketing by Monrae, traffic, sales, and profit, right? This lady's brand, we killing the game. Every day, she's scooting into town right before it's time to hit the stage. So by the time we hit the third or fourth city, we in Chicago, I'm like, let me just make sure she's coming. In case I need to pad the information, right?
Right.
So I call her and I'm like, "What's up?" Like by this time, me and the team we're in town. We in Chicago. We go to Cooper's Hawk. We have a great meal. I go over my presentation. I'm watching TV, right, enjoying myself. I call Monrae. I think the flight got delayed a couple times. That's what happens when you fly late at night. Monrae, in case you didn't know, this tip, that's free. Then I call her and she's like, "Yeah, I'm at the hotel or something like that, right?" And I was like, "Yeah," because Monrae, this one she decided to provide the location.
I
And
did.
We supposed to be in Chicago. We almost in Indiana or something, right? So
We was in the suburbs.
We out in the suburbs, yeah. The suburbs,
in the safe area.
suburbs / country, right? So we out there. I call Monrae, right? Because it's kind of like, it's only like one hotel where we at. I don't see her at the hotel. So I'm like, wait a second, I'm at the hotel. I said, yeah. She said, I think I'm close to the venue. I'm in Chinatown. And I'm like, last time I checked, most Chinatowns are not in the suburbs.
Downtown.
I do a quick, downtown, right? This is you okay?
Yes.
Oh, we on the same page.
That's
so I do a quick search. I'm like, this lady is a smooth 45 minutes to an hour away. She thinks she is minutes away. She thinks she's minutes away from the venue.
That's horrible.
But she got there the next day. You know
I
what I'm saying?
did,
She got
all
there
the
the next day. She did a great
time.
job. We had some people enrolled to an amazing program we did together.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the difference. Like, you're chilling, you're well rested, she's coming in hot, but it worked.
Right.
It worked.
Right.
It worked. If that's you want to, we will go with
I
it
will
work.
never book travel again. I have help now.
Oh.
See,
I
that's the
was like-
pivot. That's
I
the
was like,
pivot. Okay.
What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But we've had good times. Good
Yes.
times.
Yes.
So Lamar and I have had some serious ups and downs in our business, right? Times that really caused us to really question like what we were doing, really make us sad, and make us really concerned about like what's happening the next day. So number one, tell us about an up and down in your business that really caused you to kind of reflect and maybe pivot, and then how did you get through it?
That's a good question. It was a lot. I mean, a lot of times, but let me pick one. So, the first thing that came to mind was in 2021. At the end of 2021, I had a miscarriage, and I had a full team at the time. We had a warehouse, 8,000 square feet, all the bills, all the things, right? We were spending like $100,000 at the time a month on just bills and expenses, and I ended up having a miscarriage, and my team knew about it. And I went to the office, and then nobody said nothing. Nobody said, sorry, are you okay? Do you need some water? Like, nothing. And the lady came in my office, and she was like, hey, is my payroll still going to get processed tomorrow?
Wow.
I said, oh, y'all could go. And so I fired my entire team. Like,
That day?
That week. I make decisions very fast.
Wow.
So I fired my entire team, including my best friend. And so that was a very pivotal time, because not only was I was going through something. So I had to kind of reflect, go to therapy, make sure I personally was okay. But then I still had to build the business. So I fired the team instead of my customer service person. And then the next month, I had to get back to it. Another webinar, another class, another something to keep the money coming in. And I just was like, I just want to stop, and I can't, And it just made me realize, like, I need to put certain things in place. So if I do need to slow down, I need to be able to slow down.
Right. And so those are definitely times where you have to change quickly and make those decisions. How do you differentiate a pivot versus those times? Because, like, I feel like pivots are more strategic, more like I'm doing this now.
Yeah.
I'm making this plan, and now I'm going to make this adjustment, and I'm going to do that, something different. And so tell me about some of those times where it's like, this is a strategic pivot from doing this to doing something else.
Yeah. So like, one thing that I adapted pretty young was that it's okay to change.
Right.
I think I tell my friends, because a lot of times people take a long time to make decisions because they feel like the decision is permanent. I don't feel that way. I feel like I can make a decision, and tomorrow I can make another decision, And so I have adapted the state of pivot, like in my marketing and what I do. Like, it's even a part of like our SOP, our steps. Like, step number 7 is pivot, And so because what I don't want to happen is that something is going wrong and you're going to keep going like it's not going wrong. Look at the data, look at what's happening, and make the change so you can get to the end result. So a lot of times in business, that's the thing that I try to adapt. Like, it's okay to pivot. It's okay to change. Like, for example, in the last 2 years, we've, done more agency work, and it wasn't because I realized that the way that for high ticket for me, I was okay with selling to my agency side. And so I realized that I like low ticket on the community side, on the education side, because it was low pressure. Right. When I sold high ticket on the other side, it was like, you want me to talk about what again? Like, we already did this, And what I also realized is that I really love marketing. So in education, sometimes when you're teaching people to do things, it's frustrating when you tell them a really good idea and they don't do it,
right.
And so you're waiting on them to, kind of bring it to life. And I realized that I missed it. I missed, going into, companies, giving them the idea, using their money, and then seeing my idea come to life, right? And so that was, I think, the latest pivot that I've had was really going strong on our agency side and letting that be like our high ticket services, while our education side could be our low ticket services.
Yeah, and I love what you said. It's like, look at the data and make that change. I think sometimes people ride things out too long, and they're I guess maybe afraid to change. They're not like responding to what's going on in the marketplace, and so they're not changing and making that pivot. So I love what you said.
Yeah, and I want to commend you on making the pivot, right? I remember having a conversation with you earlier where they're like, a ton of people to do some level of marketing, but telling you like, hey, Monrae, like, your special sauce is you actually creating these plans. I don't think there's a person, I'm gonna say it to the camera, I don't think there's a person better at creating launches, of creating like creativity, right, style and flair, things that step out, than marketing by Monrae.
Thank you.
So I'm so glad, like, every time I look online and I see you, doing a campaign around somebody's brand, around their launch, and they keep getting bigger and bigger. Yeah. I love seeing it because I feel like that's you working all the way in your gift.
Yeah.
Does it feel like you're working in the gift right now?
Listen, it feels so good. Like, now it's stressful because, I'm the CMO in multiple companies now. So that means I'm running like small businesses in these companies, but I get to do the thing that I love every single day. You know, I get to do the campaigns, and I was telling one of my clients, like, I build my campaigns like a movie. Like, you got to have a beginning, you got to have a climax, and you got to have something to get them to the sequel, you know? And so that just really resonated with him, and it just allows me to do the thing that I love every single day and spend somebody else's money doing it.
That's fun. I ain't never felt that before. What that feel like? You know, but that's funny because I told Ronnie recently, we were doing like a something for a brand sponsor, and we did it. They were happy about it, but I was like, yo, it's easy.
Yeah.
I was like, it's easy to operate when you ain't got the pressure of
do I gotta pay for this?
Right, I gotta pay for it.
Yeah.
I gotta do all that. Like, if all I gotta do is just do the last part,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
easy. Yeah,
and I
we
ain't gotta
had-
fulfill it on the back.
Listen,
Oh, that's easy.
that's
All I gotta do is
easy.
focus on this.
Yes, yes.
We can do that all day long.
Easy. We had a client and they was like, okay, well, we want to do a conference. We want it to look amazing. We want it to feel amazing. We got $500,000. Look, period. I can do it right now, you know? So that allows me to just, because as a CEO, you don't get to always do the thing that you love. Like,
right.
you only get to do the thing that you love 10% of the time, because 90% of the time you got to worry about all the other things, the people, the bills, all of that. But as a marketer, I get to do what I love 100% of the time. So I leave the CEO to worry about the other stuff, right? But I get to really sit in my gift, and that is a beautiful thing for sure.
I love it. Yeah. I was trying to remember, and I cannot remember how you first came into TSP and how we first got like what is your story? Like, how did you find
that
TSP?
Is so funny. My TSP story was very short. Okay, how I found it and made the decision, because I make decisions quick. So my friend Alyssa was in TSP,
okay.
and she kept leaving because she didn't stay here.
Yeah,
so
she was in
kept,
Philly, right?
Yeah, she kept leaving my house, going to this TSP thing, and I'm like, you always down here, but you're not hanging out with me. Like, where are you going? And so she was going to the conferences or whatever, and so I'm like, they hanging out all late. Like, what is going on? Like, why I can't go? Like, okay. So she was at the conference at the Westin at the time. And so I was like, you at the TSP thing? And she was like, yeah. I was like, all right, tell them to send me the link. And she was like, what you talking about? I ain't finna join right now because y'all keep leaving me. And so she sent me the link and I bought it. And so that's how I joined.
So you joined without even coming?
No, I had never been to. I was a member when I came to my first conference.
We need to do a profile of you so we can find with people like
Yes.
you. So we ain't got to spend all the money on these
Like
conferences and all this whatnot. All
clients.
these advertising, get them
Yeah.
in. The ideal people get it in. I love it.
Yes.
So this is interesting because this is not most people's story. Of how most people like they're in a Facebook group on 50,000 people. Then they like, I'm in the online challenge. I read the book, and it's like so many steps. You got right to it. So I'm curious. So you came in then. What was the first thing you attended when you were actually in community? And what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, so when I came to the conference, it was different. Like, it felt like Wakanda. Like, it was just like all the black people. This where the black people been hiding it. Like, I love it, you know. But I had started coming to like the classes and the challenge. Like, I got immediately in and I was getting to work. I got with my coach and all the things, right? And so then the first thing was I can't remember. I think it was game plan because I joined at the TSP Live cycle. So the next was the next one was the Mastermind Conference.
The private mastermind.
Yeah,
we do private. We do the conferences, TSP Live in June, TSP Game Plan in January.
Yep.
People don't know. If you don't know this, right, you might be on the wrong side of the fence looking in. We do private events in the spring and in the fall, but only for our mastermind and collaborative.
Yep. So that was the first event that I came to, and then when I came, I was like hanging in the hallways, talking to people out all late. I was like, I feel like this is college.
All right, did you learn anything?
Yeah.
You said nothing about like the information, the education. I got more about my systems. All the things.
I did learn
we hanging out
something.
at night. We going to Waffle House at the end.
That's the sauce, okay? Because the community is what helps. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like,
That's
the
true.
education is substance, but the community is what help you grow, you know?
That's true.
And so I do remember in the conference, y'all passed out this big binder of like the different systems and it was like the graphics of how it should go.
Complete business life cycle.
Yes. And I was like, this is amazing. This is everything that I needed, you know? But I did hang out. I found my community. And I think that the thing that a lot of entrepreneurs miss is that we do it for so long in silo. Like, we do it for so long with not knowing that other people are struggling with the same thing that we're struggling with. So that was the highlight of it. Just being able to finally find other people that was like, girl, you don't want to pay payroll? Girl, me neither. But, you know, we going to do it. Or you struggling with this, or you struggling with that, or us being able to get in and mastermind together. Like, that was the substance that I think really sets TSP apart from a lot of mastermind programs.
That's good. You know, I want to just emphasize, you know, y'all was playing about, you know, we teach stuff too. But that community part is so big because, you know, I have coaches. I got consultants we pay. I'm always in masterminds. And I tell Ronnie, like, so many times over the last 17 years we've been in business, I've come back from something and been like, yo, like, I don't know if I want to go back.
Right.
And most time it's not the actual content, it's the community. I'm like, it don't feel warm here. I don't feel welcome here.
Yeah.
And I can go in there, like, I've made a lifetime out of going in places, getting the information I need, and coming back out.
Yeah.
But, yo, it's like you can only make it behind the other team's lines so many times without
Exactly.
them feeling like you part of the team.
Yes.
And you know, like I'm glad to hear you say that. I feel like that's the manifestation of what we wanted to build. And I love that, like, for you, you felt like you found that.
Yeah.
And I know you definitely created some lifelong relationships.
Like, to this day, right? Like, to this day, still the people that I call, still the people that I, you know, talk to about business. And like my sister Brandy, like, that is like my sister, you know. Like, and it's so funny that, you know, we connected at TSP because people have been tagging us onto each other Facebook posts saying, y'all look alike, are y'all the same person? Like, what is happening, you know? So I think that the community is the substance that people are missing. The education, yes, that's the byproduct of it all, you know. Like, you're going to get the education, the coaches are amazing, everything is great, but like the community part, that's the part that you're not gonna find nowhere else.
Right. That's a community that's going to help you through those times when your team is not stepping up for you, right? It's the community that's going to help you to say, hey, that's a good idea or that's not a good idea, right? So I love it. And we definitely all need a community because entrepreneurship it's also ghetto. Just like
it's ghetto.
Being a CEO.
Very ghetto.
And if I'll just put a bow around it for this, like what you said to me is so impactful because a lot of times as we grow, right? You're talking about growing from 100-something thousand to 1 million. Like, who was you gonna turn to? There was like when you grew 1,000%, like, yo, what was that like?
Yes.
Like when you built your team, like many of us don't have somebody to turn to, be like, yo, when you got over 10 employees, what was the situation like?
Right.
When you had, you know, you covering the overhead, 14 and a space and inventory, like what did you go through?
Yeah.
Right. So like I said, like that's why I value our friendship so much. Like, it's just the community. I'm a real big believer in you need community. Like, you cannot go it alone. What's the proverb say, right? You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what in our community more than anything, like that's what we need. And that's what you've been building, right? With your communities, with the mob.
Yeah.
I say it?
The mob.
Okay, I can't never get it right. I mean, like,
I don't even like hearing you say it.
It's bubbling inside of me. It's
Don't do it,
bubbling
Lamar.
inside of me. I love to say it. Okay, well, I'm gonna hold it down.
That is so funny.
But I love it, right? So, you know, we've had you on the stage at TSP. You've been terrible part of me. Just last week, I saw somebody tagging you again, right? Like, people always like tagging you. Somebody was asking about, you know, who can do my podcast projects? Somebody's like, Monrae, marketed by Monrae, right?
Yes.
How does it feel now, right? You started 19 years ago?
Yep. No.
At
11.
19.
At 19.
Okay.
You're trying to make her older.
Okay, my bad. You over 30 now. It's
Like,
you
you
know,
started at 9?
right?
Like,
So, over 30 years old, right? You started when you was 19. When you look back, the ups and downs, the bumps, the bruises, the good times, the bad times, what are the pieces that you reflect on the most? Like that, you know, tie that journey together.
yeah, like when I think about my journey over the last 11 years, it's like it was a lot. Like, it was a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but all perseverance, like all keep going. And I just remember hearing my friends. So I'm a little extra because I've been doing campaigns, but for my graduation in college, I did a docuseries on my life. So I
You're like 12 years old, docuseries. I was born, I went to middle school, here I am. Short film.
That was my invitation to my graduation, was the docuseries. And so, but I remember when my friends would say about me at the time, and they was like, you just have so much tenacity and perseverance, and like you just keep going and you don't mind pivoting. You don't mind doing whatever you have to do. And I just think about how I have translated that into the rest of my career. And literally when I turned 30, I think I just immediately got emotional. One, because I was like, I'm tired. Like, it's been a long 10 years, but I also got emotional because it's like, dang, I'm just getting started. Like, and I got to keep going, you know, and I think a lot of times, especially as a woman at 30, you start thinking about so much, you know, you're thinking about like, is it time to have kids? Do I got to get married? Do I got to do this? You know, but also in the business, is it time for me to hire higher level executives? Is it time for me to do this? You know, so I'm just at 30, I started to think about all the things that I had to do to grow from the couple $1 million that we've made to $100 million business. And so it's like, what do I need to do today? Like, what seeds am I supposed to be planting so that I can be where I need to be and retire by the time I get 40, 45, something like that? Because, baby, I'm tired.
Right. I mean, I've heard that from several entrepreneurs this week. I'm tired. I'm tired. So what are you doing for yourself to overcome that? Like, to get past that.
I think for me, it's because I've been doing it for a while. It's just like, okay, how do I keep it fresh and new and exciting, right? And every season you kind of rebuild, but you rebuild with new information, new knowledge. You're not starting from zero. And so for me, in this season, I'm like rebuilding my team and getting the right people. Like I said, we've had employees come and go, right? And so now I know the thing to look for. Like, I know the signs. I'm like, you want your own business, you don't want to work here. You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna do this. You know, so I'm educated on what to do now as we're rebuilding. But I think, and also like, even the way that we structure like our offers and what I offer them, like a lot of our stuff, like I don't have to be hands-on in. The only thing that I'm hands-on in is our CMO services. Like, I can just be hands-off, my team got it, you know? And so it's just like rebuilding and redoing with more knowledge this time. And so even though I'm tired, you know, you just got to keep going, child. You know, just got to keep going.
All right, so those are a lot of things that you're doing for your business, but specifically, what are you doing for you to help you get through those times when you're like so tired or discouraged or feeling alone? What do you do for you?
That's a good question. You know, as an entrepreneur, we sacrifice ourselves, so it's probably not much that I do for me. Like, I watch TV. I know that sounds crazy, but like at night, I might, you know, stop taking calls, 9 o'clock. And then I watch TV. But the one consistent thing that I have every single night is that I take a bath. Like, I soak. Not like just take a bath, because I know where you... I soak.
We talking two different languages.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, it was different, Ronnie. She's like, I take a bath every night. No, you soak though.
I soak.
In experience.
Yes, I have a bubble bath. I have created an oasis in my bathroom. Like, I put my melatonin in there. Like, I really calm down. I play my music. I turn the lights off. And so at least an hour every night, like, I decompress. So I think that has helped me just, you know, keep going. But as far as like trips and, you know, buying yourself stuff, no, I don't do that. I probably should though.
All right. I'll tell you what, here's one of my hacks. One of the things I had to do, because living this life of a busy CEO, is I had to pre-plan our vacations. So on my calendar, because you know how the calendar be calendaring. That joint fills up quick.
Yeah.
So couple quarters out, like I try to do it at my best. When we do our annual plan for the business at the end of the year, like if I'm my best, I go ahead and layer like quarterly vacations in then. But if I don't, I still got to do it a few months early before my calendar start filling up.
Yeah.
And then a lot of time, Ronnie will be like, where we going that week? And I'll be like, I don't know, but we ain't gonna be here, right?
Right.
And literally like just have those spots. And a lot of times, like this year, you know, we just went to Italy a couple weeks ago. I booked that like a week and a half before, right?
Yeah, it's like
we did like a
literally
weekend trip
bought
to
the
Montreal,
tickets 2
right?
weeks before we went.
Exactly,
wow.
right?
We went.
Because I didn't know where we was going.
Yeah.
But just having the time blocked off,
right.
right? Just like we block off time to hey, make sure this marketing piece is done, or block off time to do performance reviews and evaluate people.
Yep.
We got to block off time for ourselves.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You know, and one thing I've been telling Eric for the last few months, I'm like, you gotta take me back to Anguilla. Like, I want to go back to Anguilla because that was like my favorite place. So, and I got to come with y'all. So
I was
I
gonna say
think
you went with us.
yes,
That was so much
yes,
fun.
yes. So I'm trying to get back. That's my spot.
All right, so you're a 7-figure business owner, right? I got to get my plug
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
You
yeah,
missed
go
it.
ahead.
You're a 7-figure business owner, right? Every year we do a retreat. We did 2 in Anguilla, right? The beautiful island Anguilla, the Four
Yep.
Seasons. And they just, I can't even tell you what happened. Everybody got NDAs. But just know if you 7-figure, 8-figure, you should be there. All right,
Period.
back to the show. What? We can promote now.
Yeah,
we
listen.
marketing. So
Join the collaborative
before
today.
Right, there we go. So before we wrap, we had such a great conversation. But I gotta say, for somebody watching and they're like, hey, she's marketing by Monrae, she's great. I follow online. If you don't, you should. But like, what should they be looking for? Like, because I always say most black entrepreneurs got a great product or service. They just don't know how to market them,
Right.
and get people in front of them. Like, what are your core components of like a campaign or a launch or something they should just do for visibility for their brand?
Yeah, I mean, I tell people all the time, like, you have to have a campaign. Like, and a lot of times people think campaigns are just so massive, but it's just a launch process. It's just something for you to represent the same product or service to your same or new audience, right? And so your job is to disrupt the scroll, disrupt what people are already seeing, disrupt the algorithm. And so when you're creating a campaign, you just want to make sure that you are thinking about something that isn't normal, right? What is outside of your normal things that you do, right? So that may be, you recreating a TV show, or it could be just you just creating different types of content. Because I tell people, like, you have to get visibility. Like, people have to see you, and if enough people can't see you, then enough people can't pay you. So you got to be seen.
There we go. And then my last question, I asked the audience and I asked Ronnie before, as CMO, when you go in and people say, how much should I spend on marketing? Like that, I'm assuming that's a question that you
Yes,
get.
yes.
Like, how do you answer that in your lens?
So in my lens, I always start with the end in mind. So what's the goal? Right. So I look at the goal and I say, okay, hey, what are the different marketing channels for you to build, borrow, buy? Right. And so if you're going to buy and you need X amount of leads, then let's just say you need 1,000 leads. If the cost per lead is $5, then now calculate how much you need to spend on ads. Right. But if you just want a soft rule of thumb, then you could do 20%. But I think that you should look at your strategy. Your strategy needs to be based on your numbers so that you can get, because we end up spending $5 and they're mad because we got $5 results. Right?
That part, yeah.
So you have to make sure that you're spending on marketing. Like, most of the time when people start businesses, they spend on all the other stuff, right? They spend on the inventory. They go buy all the things. They go buy the warehouse, the building, everything but the marketing. They's like, okay, I got $100. How can I sell, all 1,000 products? Like, no, you think about the marketing piece first. Like, how am I going to be seen? Like, you can do marketing before you even have your products, right? Like, you can build a wait list. You can pre-orders. Like, you need to get an audience first before you even start thinking about what you going to sell.
I love it. I got that question yesterday. I get it all the time. Somebody asked me yesterday in the Q&A, how can I market my business without advertising? And I said, that's the wrong thing to think about.
Right.
You should be thinking about, how can I get the money to advertise so I can market my business?
Yeah, we asking the
love
wrong
it.
questions.
That's right. And if we're not spending money on marketing, that means, like Monrae said, you got to be doing all the, you can't say, like, I'm not going to advertise and I'm not going to partner with people and I'm not going to do organic, right? Because if you say I'm not doing all those things, the other thing you're not going to do is
make money. You're not going to make money. And a lot of times people, that's the thing. Like, people always asking you how you can do something without doing something else. Like, they always like, how can I make $100,000, but I'm not going to market. I'm not going to show up. I don't want to be on social media. Baby, you don't want no business. You want to go back to work.
Right.
So you should just go back to work. Like, you don't want to do this. And I think we should be okay with it. If you don't do it, don't do it.
The process is a process, and you're not going to get around it. You're not going to get around it.
All right. So, Monrae, I want to thank you for coming through.
Of course.
The pivot point. Right. That was good, wasn't it?
It was amazing, yeah.
All right. If you enjoyed this show, what I want to tell you is, guess what? We got more. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go down into the description. We got everything you need to know about Monrae. You can connect with her, connect with the Ghetto CEO podcast. And we got everything you need to know about TSP, about the events, and about not just the mastermind, but the collaborative 7-figure business owners. You want to come to the next Anguilla. That was
Yes.
beautiful. The waters were calm.
Blue, see-through.
It was a different type of sun. It's a different sun in here in the United States, right?
Yes.
A different type of sun. It was
It's going
amazing,
hard.
though.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you need somebody to just ride with you. Does Eric ride with you? Does Eric do this?
No, he don't ride.
I know he don't. When I said that, I was like, nah, I seen Eric not ride a couple times.
A
myself.
couple times.
All right, so y'all listen, right? Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you get everything on Monrae, and make sure you get connected to TSP. We'll catch you on the next episode of The Pivot Point.